Hi everyone, this is Jess, Sketchwriter Jess. I am back to give you a Twin Flame Tuesday reading. Basically the spread consists of a masculine part and a feminine part, and then it has a theme. Now the masculine and feminine parts have a past, present, future. They have where they're coming from, where they are now, and kind of what's on their mind for the future. It's not so much like a future foretelling, but just what's on their mind as they go into finding somebody to settle down with. The theme consists of one card from the bottom of the deck plus a clarifying card, and that comes out from under that card. And then there is a Notes from the Universe card, and that comes out as like a writing prompt. It kind of brings everything together. So now I'm going to start shuffling the cards. Going to knock the energy out, and we'll ask a question, and I'll start shuffling and cut the deck, and then we'll get going on the spread. So my spirit guides and my angel, Uriel, Cal, Mombasa, and Chuck. Please help us find what we need to be able to have a really good relationship with somebody that is close to us. Thank you. Sometimes it shuffles funny. I think that's it. Cut the deck. And away we go. I'm going to do waterfall shuffling. And that seems to be the most fair way to get these cards out. Oops. That's interesting. Okay, now I'm going to pick the universe and the card from Notes from the Universe. This was the Rider deck that I used for these cards. Still have no idea how to shuffle these cards. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Now this one's going to be cool. I can feel it. This is going to be a good one. I've done these before. One of them I did was really interesting, and then I did one recently. It was off camera, and, you know, just to get some practice in, and it was kind of boring. Not bad. I got some good writing out of it, but This one's going to be more interesting, I think. So, now what I'm going to do is show you all of the cards, and then I will look up in my big book, which is this. My big book has all the meanings from the Rider Tarot deck, and then I add things to them as it comes up. So, first card for the past of the masculine is Page of Swords. Second card is Page of Pentacles reversed. That's the present that he's in. And like what's on his mind when he's thinking of relationships. This is the third card, Two of Pentacles. For the female, feminine, we have the Eight of Swords reversed. And that's for the past. For the present, we have the Six of Swords reversed. And for what's on her mind, we have the Ten of Wands upright. Now, what ended up happening is, usually I take the clarifying card from the bottom of the other card that's on the deck, but I ended up pulling another card. It just felt like pulling another card. So I decided to have that as the clarifying card. So, the bottom of the deck card, this is interesting, the bottom of the deck card is Strength. Now, the clarifying card I pulled out is the Magician. In my opinion, they're counterparts. So, this is going to be a good one. And then for the Universal card, I Heart You. Okay. So, let's get going on this. And look up Page of Swords. What I do is I write down the meanings in my notebook. The one that I use to write my poems and my prose poems. So, Page of Swords. So for him, I'm thinking that with the combination of cards, especially with the Magician, we're going to say spying. He's spying. He could be spying on the woman of his dreams here. Also examining things. A lot of things going on in his mind, perhaps. Yeah, with the Two of Pentacles, a lot of things weighing on him. And for the Page of Pentacles reversed, look that up. Okay. We could say, I don't know what prodigality is, but I'm going to put that down. like the prodigal son, perhaps. Say spendthrift. Wasteful. I don't know why I feel like putting that down, but we'll see what happens when the story comes together. And there's the Two of Pentacles. And that one is upright. Agitation. Juggling opposing tasks. So, what I'm going to do, I think, that may be different than usual this time. I think perhaps I'll break this up. We'll do each one as we see it. We'll do each poem after each part of the reading. And then we'll bring it all together after I tell you what I think it means. So why don't we do that? So the writing time will be broken up. So, for the male, we have the Page of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles. Oh, Page of Pentacles reversed. And to me, it seems like somebody, he's upset, he's agitated, he's trying to figure out how he can have his cake and eat it too. Could be a possible third party thing going on, juggling two women. Maybe he's with somebody, but he's got somebody on his mind. So I think what I'll do is I'll just write down a poem, just free form. So I invite you to do the same in your journal. It probably won't take too long. So I'm just going to write a little bit down. Okay, so I wrote my poem for it. Now we'll move on to the feminine. We have the feminine, and she's represented by the Eight of Swords reversed. So in her past, there could be opposition for her too. Put down disquiet. That's one of the words. And I think I'm going to put down treachery. You know, with this guy aspiring, she's tapped into something here. You know, something where somebody is doing something wrong. They're doing something against her. So, and also it's kind of like a bad feeling. You know, it can cause somebody stress to feel like somebody doesn't want the best for you. They kind of like want you to fall down. So that could be her past. Next one is Six of Swords reversed. This is interesting. Declaration, confession, publicity, proposal of love. I'm going to say confession. And also, right now, she's at the safe place. I kind of think of the Six of Swords as when it's upright, that somebody's going to a safe place. And then when it's reversed, I think of it that they're at the safe place. So she's at the safe place. Okay, and then the last one is the Ten of Wands upright. So, now here we go, oppression. Let's say disguise. And loss. And we could say oppression. Before there was opposition, and now there's oppression. So that's on her mind. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is write the poem for this one. And I invite you to do the same. Okay, so I finished the feminine. And now we're on to the theme. We have a theme and a clarifier. And what I'll do is I'll do the theme and the clarifier, and then for the whole thing, we'll take everything into account with the last card, the Notes from the Universe card. So, for the theme, we have the Magician, I'm going to say he's going to take risks. He's got skill. Disaster. With all of these things that are on his side. With the Two of Pentacles, afraid things will drop. So we have that for the Magician. Then we have Strength. With Courage. Action. Positive mind. And I know that seems odd with all of these, but because of the Six of Swords reversed, I think the person is at the safe place. So her memories are what's blocking her. So I'm going to write a poem now for that. So before I talk about the Notes from the Universe card, what I'm going to do is go over everything as like a whole general idea. And I'll read you what I came up with for the poems. And then what I recommend after that is that after I've talked about the writing prompt, the Notes from the Universe card, you write the poem and a prose poem. So the prose poem kind of sums everything up. You don't have to. I mean, if you just want a regular poem, that's fine. But I'm going to be making these little poems into a larger poem, kind of editing some things. So for the man, I had juggling two women. One's on his mind, one is his. He doesn't know how to make a choice. He is afraid to make a wasteful decision. For the woman, I have, she was afraid her past would haunt her. People who wanted to see her fall. Litter her memories, who would hurt her now. She is safe, yet still afraid. And for the theme, I have, they came together, courageous, risking their hearts despite believing disaster can happen at any time. Now, I like that one piece, so I'll probably keep that. But there are things I want to juggle around in the other two. So, I mean, just to recap, the man seems to be somebody who is wary of people. He does a lot of spying on the people he thinks he's going to have a relationship with. It's possible he's with somebody else and he's seeing somebody else on the side, and he's confused because he doesn't know who to go with. Of course, he's not even taking into account that the person that's not seeing anybody may not want to be with him. And then that the person who is with him could just up and leave because she finds out about it. So, he is in a situation now. He's in a pickle. And he's in a pickle because of his pickle. That's a problem. But, yeah, he's got some problems. Now, the woman is that he's interested in, or that is he's supposed to meet as a twin flame, she's coming from a past of treachery, so she's wary too. You know, he's wary just because he don't want to get caught. The feminine here, I think she's had some issues. It's possible that maybe she had a similar issue where, you know, she was with somebody and then she found somebody else and she felt like she needed to go with the other person and it didn't work. It could be very much like they're mirroring each other. But usually when people mirror each other, it's more like one's opposite of the other. So, I mean, I'm saying she could have had a situation like that, but women can also be friends with people and the friend can hurt them. Friend can hurt them a lot. And so, you know, like it becomes a very intense friendship and like the friend wishes them harm, you know, they really don't want to see them anymore. So now she's in a place where she's safe and she's not with that person anymore. But now she feels like she's carrying burdens. She's got an uphill battle. She's trying to figure out, where were we? Love it when the camera decides to shut down in the middle of something I'm saying. So, yeah, the storage ran out of my phone. That's what happened. Anyways, for the female, the feminine, I feel like that possibly she may have been in a relationship where she was cheated on, or she had a very intense friendship that went sour. And you know, it's possible that she was cheated on. I mean, the male could be cheating on somebody, you know, could be cheating on somebody. And if she's a mirror, then she might have been cheated on. So if these two get together, then it's a challenge for both of them to trust each other. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write, or I should say I'll read you what I wrote, because I already wrote down. Okay. So here's the one I wrote for her. She was afraid her past would haunt her. People who wanted to see her fall. Litter her memories who would hurt her now. She is safe, yet still afraid. And I don't think I read that in the last one, but maybe I did. I had to sit for like a half hour for it to upload again, like to back up and everything. So now, it threw me off a little bit. Okay, but I believe that's what we were talking about. And now for the theme. What came up was Strength and the Magician. And to me, the woman in the Strength card is the Magician's counterpart. They both have infinity symbols above their head. And they both use alchemy in different ways. I mean, her alchemy is more like changing weakness into strength, perhaps even using, her heart to make all the changes. The Magician is more into making things happen, kind of like conjuring up things, making changes that way. And they counter each other, I think. So I think it's like these two. This is a definite twin flame relationship here. If somebody was looking at this and they see themselves in it as one of these people, and you meet somebody and this happens, where you meet somebody who's your mirror, this could be one. This could be the one. This could be the one that you're thinking of. So I wrote for that one, they came together, courageous, risking their hearts despite believing disaster can happen at any time. So, taking all that into account, we have this last card here. And this is the writing prompt for everything. The I Heart You. And what I was thinking of doing was rewriting some of these poem areas. And then doing like a whole, like the prose poem. So what I'm going to do is edit some of these, and I'll put them all together, and then I'll read that to you. So I invite you to write in your journal now. Oh, sorry about the yawning. Okay, so I've got the full poem now, and part of it is on the other page because I'm going to use the next page to write the prose poem. So this is the verse poem. He had a woman on his mind. The only problem is he had a woman already. The woman he dreamt of was who he believed was someone worth taking a risk on. She, the woman in the dream, would take him to her safe place, allowing him to escape his demons. She was afraid to take a chance on someone she just met, the man who swept her off her feet. There's almost like this supernatural element. Oh, I forgot the other part. They came together, courageous, risking their hearts despite believing disaster can happen at any time. So, it's all out of order now. Sorry. This is just one of those stories. I keep thinking it's like supernatural. There's this supernatural element to this. Like, twin flames seem to always have that element. They have like a supernatural element of people kind of being able to read each other's minds, feel each other's hearts, and have a deep soul connection. With the strength and magician card, there's definitely that element. I think when it comes to something like this, if people are looking for twin flames, like they're actually on the twin flame journey, what they have to understand is that there's a mission. Like, people come together to make something happen for the world. It's not just about finding somebody to be with or settle down with. It goes beyond that. And I think when people are complementing each other, like opposites attract kind of thing, each person is learning about what they need to be complete. That doesn't mean they're looking for the other person to complete them. It just means they see the other person, they're inspired to complete themselves. And I think with strength and magician, that's like they're both practicing alchemy in their own way. And so now what I'm going to do is the channeled message. And this is I Heart You, and I will read the back here. If everyone really knew how much they were loved, not only from above, but by those now in their life, there'd be little hearts drawn on everything from wheelbarrows to skyscrapers to jumbo jets, and I so look forward to that day. Big heart, the universe. I love that. That's so funny because, like, this isn't really innocent right now. This love is not innocent, but I think these people crave to go back to an innocent time. And, so I think I've got enough here. So I invite you to write again. I invite you to do a prose poem this time. This will just kind of bring everything in. Okay, here I've got the prose poem. We love each other, innocent, comforting each other as if we were the kindest friends, feeding each other's souls sweet and sour grapes. Tales from our pasts intertwine and form a new chapter as we begin our new life together. We are in our safe place. Though we can leave at any time, there is no need to, as we are the safe place in our comfort in tears and arms. Yeah. I feel like a sigh of relief writing that. So, I would say the biggest thing to take away from this reading is, if you have a wandering eye, think about why. Think about what it is in you that you're looking for. Don't say it's the person that you're with. That person is, they're doing whatever they're doing. I mean, they can be aggravating you, but really, it's better to look at yourself if you're planning on moving on to someone else. And for anybody who's planning on dating somebody and they know something like that about them, that they're with somebody, ask yourself why you want to be with that person. What do you get from that? I think in order for these people to be together, they'd have to be real honest about why they were still holding on to certain things, why they weren't deciding to let go of the things that hold them back from being able to be open to a relationship with somebody. However, it's the kind of thing where I think if the people are able to let go of those things that hold them back, like if the man decides, hey, this relationship I'm in is just not working. I need to just be on my own. I just need to see what it's like for a while on my own. I mean, I've had relationships and they didn't work in the past. And, I just keep having relationships because it feels good to be with somebody. But I'm not getting... There's certain needs that are not met with the person I'm with. So now I've got other people in my mind and I have to figure out why. And I have to figure out what I'm going to do about it. And for the woman, the feminine, she has to think about how she's in a safe place now and how people used to be abusive towards her. And she's kind of carried the burdens of that feeling of like, people are haunting me, I can't escape it. She has to be careful that if she falls for this man, that he makes himself available. If he's not available, then he's not available and she needs to leave him alone because she will get hurt. She's already in her safe place on her own. But it's the kind of thing where, like, if these people got together and he was on his own, in the best case scenario, he was on his own, he didn't have anybody, and she was on her own, and she wasn't still haunted by all that pain that was caused when she was with somebody else and they cheated on her, or they hurt her in some way. If they had both let go of those things and then came together and used their joint alchemy to make a better relationship, then it would be a truly great twin flame relationship. Because when people use the alchemy together, they use their strength and their magician inside of them together, then they can do things together. They can make art together. They can make music together. They can do anything for the planet. They could clean up the ocean. You know, they can do whatever they want. They can inspire people by being in love with each other and treating each other with respect. And I think that's what people look to when they see people who say they're in a twin flame relationship. They're looking to those people and saying, look what these people have. They have something special. And that needs to be applauded in some way. You know, like, I know with my parents, I don't know if they're twin flames, but they're definitely soulmates of some sort. And their love is amazing. They just love each other so much, and they care about each other. And people tell them all the time how great it is to see two people loving each other so much. And I have to say, I think of them when I think of being in a relationship. I think of how great their love is, and I know it's rare to find love like that. But I think it's rare because most people haven't let go of all the crap from their past. See, if you're still carrying stuff around, then it's all there. It's like in the way, you know? It's like, what if you're like having sex with somebody and you start thinking about something from the past and it completely makes you lose the moment? I mean, it could be anything. And I don't really mean like sexual trauma. I mean, just something, I don't know, it could be anything. Some psychological thing that would just pop in your head and it would just make everything go flat. You know, like it would stop. People have to be careful when they enter a relationship, I think. They have to understand, especially if it's a twin flame relationship, that it could take time to build it. And that's because of all the stuff that they have to drop, all the stuff they have to let go of, to be open and receptive to receive the love that they deserve. And everybody deserves love. It doesn't matter whether you're soulmate, twin flame, whatever. I mean, I know there's the whole karmic partner thing, but you know what? They're people. I don't know why people talk about the karmic partner as like evil or something. They're just a person. And they're like, they have different thoughts and opinions than you do. You know? I mean, that's what it comes down to. And you disagree and you split up. It's bad karma to wish somebody leave a relationship. Like, it's bad karma to like somebody who's in a relationship and wish that their person goes away. The only people who have the decision in that is the two people that are really affected by that, the man and the couple that is going through that. And I think that once people learn that relationship is a give and take, it's not like 80% one and 20% the other. I think the best relationships are 50-50, and on some days it's 80-20 for one person, you know, the man, or 80-20 for the woman. You know, it goes back and forth, but most of the time it adds up to 50%. But it's not always, oh, this one does all the work and the other one just sits around and do anything. I think that doesn't work either. I mean, there are some people who enjoy those kinds of relationships, I guess. But I think these two, I think they're equally matched. I think the feminine is kind of vulnerable, but I think she's strong in that even though she's carried burdens, she's in a safe place now, so she's able to deal with them properly. The male is still juggling his stuff. He's still trying to figure out the best way to go. He doesn't know whether he should stay with the woman that he's with or leave, and then he's not sure whether he wants to be with anybody at this point. I really believe that. Like, he is on his own now. This has given him enough agitation that he is on his own. He just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. And, you know, that's one of those things. See, if these people meet, then they have to be ready to have the relationship. And if neither of them are ready, then there's no relationship. There's no relationship with the other person. There's really only time to build yourself up. And that could be the most important lesson of all with twin flames, is each person has to bring it to the table. They can't just rely on somebody else to do the work for them. And with their mission, they have to work on it together. It has to be something that they're both into 100%. That's what I've felt with it. From all the talk I've heard, it's a lot of talk about, well, what happens if they're separated? What happens if they're together? I think it's a couple by couple basis, whether same-sex or heterosexual, straight couple. It's just there's a masculine and a feminine. I say he, she because I'm straight, but I think there's something to be said for masculine and feminine energy. There's something, it's part of humanity. We're not sexless creatures. We have hearts and minds and souls, but our bodies are on fire. They just crave that kind of intimacy. They crave the animal aspects of living. And eventually these people just love each other at the end of the day, right? I heart you. It just comes down to that. That's where they're at if they meet each other. And that's where they're at if they work at being in a relationship together. So, I think that's going to wrap it up for now. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm on Instagram, and I also post the spread on Instagram. I put all the notes so you can read it. Once in a while, I pick one of these to put on my blog. I don't put all of them on there. I just put some of them. But all the videos are on my blog, sketchwriterjess.com. And all my social media links are in the description below. So, I will see you tomorrow for Wisdom Wednesday. Bye.